Okay, so this is Math 6, Module 3, Lesson 11. It says Jesse and his family drove up to a picnic area on a mountain. In the morning, they followed a trail that led to the mountain summit. The summit's the very tip of a mountain, very top, which was 2,000 feet above the picnic area. They then returned to the picnic area for lunch. After lunch, they hiked on a trail that led to the mountain overlook, which was 3,500 feet below the picnic area. So A says, locate and label the elevation of the mountain summit and the mountain overlook on a vertical number line. The picnic area represents 0. Write a rational number to represent each location. Okay. So we need to find where we're going to put our 0 as far as I like just putting it in the middle as close as possible. So let's call this the picnic area, or 0. Okay. 0 is the picnic. Let's call it PA, picnic area. Okay. Now, what do we want to use for our segments? I'm going to go ahead and just call it, let's just do it by thousands just to make sure we can include them all. So let's call, this one would be 1,000. This one would be 2,000. And 2,000 was the summit. Okay. Now, if they are going to hike 3,500 feet below the picnic area, that would be down here, and that would be a negative 3,000, and this would be a negative 4,000. So right here would be what they call it, the overlook. Okay. So for the mountain summit, that's going to be 2,000. And for the mountain overlook, that's going to be negative 3,500. Everybody see that? Okay. So now it says for B, use absolute value to represent the distance on the number line of each location from the picnic area. Okay. Whenever we're talking about absolute value, you've got to think of it as in distance, right? Distance can never be negative. So these numbers are always going to be positive. So what is the summit from the picnic area? How far away is the mountain summit from the picnic area? Celine? Yeah. It would be 2,000. And let's just act like we're putting those in absolute value term, which is 2,000. All right, so what about the mountain overlook then? Gianna? Okay, so I'm going to write the 3,500 inside our absolute value brackets, and that's going to equal 3,500. Okay, so those are our answers. Anytime we're talking about absolute value, it's always positive. Okay. Now, what is the distance between the elevation of the summit and the overlook? Remember, distance is always going to be positive, right? Distance has got to be positive. So, between the elevation of the summit and the overlook, use absolute value in your number line from part A to explain your answer. Well, let's just look at our number line right quick. If I go from the summit, let me change the color here. Okay, if I go from the summit to the picnic area, that's 2,000. And if I go another 3,500, that's just simply 2,000 plus 3,500, and that's going to be 5,500. And that's the same thing if we started at the overlook and went up to the summit. It's still just going to be 5,500 feet. right? Or we could use it just like our summit is 2,000. Our absolute value of the overlook from the picnic area is 3,500, and so that's going to be 5,500. So altogether, they're 5,500 units. Because I don't know if it told us that it was in feet or meters, or let me see if it told us. Yeah, it does say feet. So it's going to be 5,500 feet, which represents the distance between the summit and the overlook. Okay, 5,500 feet. Anybody have any questions about that?